Aaron Rodgers could very well have Pittsburgh Steelers fans questioning everything by the end of the NFL season. It's one of the ever-enigmatic quarterback's hallmark traits. During an interview with Kyle Brandt during Steelers training camp, Rodgers was asked how he felt about playing his former team, the New York Jets, in Week 1 of the upcoming campaign. The 41-year-old ended his two-season Jets stint on somewhat bitter terms after the franchise decided to release him last offseason. "That's the way it goes sometimes." "Of course," Rodgers said, giving a run-of-the-mill answer. Then, he added some of his signature skepticism. "Now, did the league have any inside information? I don't know. Who were they talking to? I'd love to know," said Rodgers. If Steelers fans didn't know what kind of quarterback they were getting from the start in Rodgers, they will find out soon enough both on and off the field. The Steelers will kick off their 2025-26 season against the Jets on September 7th at MetLife Stadium. Cordarrelle Patterson's release did not get broken by the Pittsburgh Steelers or even another NFL insider. Instead, it was Patterson himself who broke the news on his X account. Breaking news! Pittsburgh Steelers release old, washed-up Cordarrelle Patterson on his day off, Patterson said. In another comment, Patterson seemed irked the Steelers had waited as long as they did to cut him, saying he was surprised, just like fans. He was on the team as long as he was, and a later joking quip, "He was cut on my day off." Of course, in the new age of social media, a player breaking their own news has become more common. Jalen Ramsey, for example, broke the news that the Steelers were trading for him. Patterson had been nursing an injury to start training camp and did not practice the first 4 days. Patterson struggled last year after suffering a high ankle sprain early in the season. He was dead last in the NFL in yards per kick returner among qualified players for the stat, which is what the Steelers signed him to do. The Steelers signed Patterson to a 2-year deal and ended up paying Patterson $3.2 million for just 147 snaps. He came along with Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, who he had long played for, and he will now hope to find another team. The Steelers have freed up $2.8 million in cap space by cutting Patterson. Patterson said last year, in the lead-up to the new rule, he was not sure how much he would enjoy it. That skepticism grew over the season, and now it seems Patterson is firmly on the negative side of this situation. All in all, Patterson ended up playing too little with the Steelers to make a significant impact over the course of the season, and age-plus injuries caught up to him quickly. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had a ton of success through the years at finding talented offensive skill position players on day 2 of the NFL draft, and the 2025 NFL draft class should be expected to carry on that tradition. In fact, the Steelers got maybe the most obvious steal of the second day of the 2025 NFL draft when they took Iowa Hawkeyes running back Caleb Johnson, one of the best running backs in all of college football last season, and someone who would have gotten a lot more attention if it weren't for Ashton Janney having an otherworldly season at the same exact time. Johnson's success at Iowa wasn't taken seriously enough by the rest of the NFL, as he mistakenly wasn't taken until the 3rd round by the Steelers. The fact that he's already showing out at Steelers training camp should surprise exactly nobody. Caleb Johnson, an early standout at Pittsburgh Steelers training camp in 2025. Caleb Johnson. I feel like the hidden part of my game is my speed and my catching ability. I feel like I can really contribute with my catching protections and stuff like that. A-Rod and all the quarterbacks, I feel like they're trusting me now. Johnson was perhaps overlooked a bit in the pre-draft process because there's a little too much projecting to his game at the NFL level. Of course, we know he can run the ball well. He ran against stacked boxes all the time at Iowa because he was their only source of offense whatsoever there. But the issue with Johnson being one of the most overlooked prospects in this class is rooted in the fact that he couldn't be featured properly in Iowa's offense. How are you supposed to feature a running back in the passing game when you have no passing game to speak of? Defenses were keying in on Johnson every single play, every single week. Any offense Iowa got from other players was considered a surprise to everyone. Johnson's abilities as a receiver and in pass protection were rarely highlighted as a result, and we saw him selected in the 3rd round because of it. And at this point, it shouldn't shock anybody if the Steelers end up having a guy who runs for over 1,000 yards as a rookie. Johnson is already that good as a runner, but with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and guys like DK Metcalf at receiver, Johnson is going to be facing way fewer stacked boxes than he did at any point in his collegiate career. A guy who can already break tackles and create after contact, getting chances to run with less than 8 guys in the box. This has a chance to be one of the most impactful day 2 picks of the entire 2025 NFL draft class, and other teams will be kicking themselves for not taking him. A month after turning to the Miami Dolphins via trade from the Pittsburgh Steelers, safety Minkah Fitzpatrick spoke to the media and revealed his feelings about the entire situation. The 28-year-old first set the record straight about his excitement to rejoin the Dolphins, who selected him in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft, before thanking the city of Pittsburgh, the fans, and his former teammates, while expressing dismay about how things played out in the end. "I know I haven't addressed the media or posted on social media, but I just wanted to make a statement. I know I haven't addressed the media or posted on social media," Fitzpatrick said. 1. I'm not a big social media guy. You ain't gonna see me on there, period, point blank. 2. There ain't no way, shape, or form was that an expression of frustration about coming back to Miami. 3. I want to thank the city of Pittsburgh, the fans of Pittsburgh. You guys treated me very well. I enjoyed my time there, and I played with some great teammates. I was very unfortunate the way things ended, but it's a part of the business. And I'm extremely, extremely excited to be a Miami Dolphin. There was little indication that the Steelers were looking to move Fitzpatrick this offseason, making his departure in a move for tight end Jonnu Smith and cornerback Jalen Ramsey somewhat of a surprise. The Dolphins originally sent Fitzpatrick to Pittsburgh ahead of Week 3 during the 2019 campaign for a package including a 2020 first-round pick. In parts of 6 seasons for the Steelers, he logged 18 interceptions and became one of the top safeties in the league while earning 5 Pro Bowl nods in addition to being named a first-team All-Pro on 3 occasions. Fitzpatrick, who landed a $16.245 million signing bonus from the Dolphins on Sunday, made it clear that he has no interest in answering any questions about the Steelers moving forward. With that being said, I'm not going to take any questions about how the transaction went down. I'm not going to take any questions about Pittsburgh or previous coaches or anything like that, he said. I would like to respectfully talk about this current situation, this team, my players, my coaches, and I would appreciate if you would all respect those wishes. Without Fitzpatrick in the fold, Pittsburgh is counting on Juan Thornhill, Chuck Clark, and Sebastian Castro to fill the void at safety alongside Deshaun Elliott.